welcome to your favorite YouTube channel, the M&B Podcast. Since I last made a video, there's been a lot of happenings in the world of football, like I do say, and we are going to be delving right into that. Let's go. Yeah, Chelsea fans, since the last time I made a video, the preseason has officially kick-started. Chelsea has played 2 matches already. The first preseason game was against Wrexham, which the team won at 5-0, and there was also a preseason friendly against Brighton, which ended 4-3. Um, Let me start from the Wrexham game. It was a fantastic game. You could see like the team's already progressing. You could see the coach's imprint is already starting to show on the team. The boys are hungry. Of course, there was a lot of backlash, or there was a lot of disappointment when the preseason list squad came out. When the squad of the preseason came out for the Tour of America came out, I think there was a lot of uproar in the Chelsea fans because a lot of the players were young players. Some were new signings, but they were unproven signings. So there were players that Chelsea fans did not know what to expect, and there was a lot of skepticism, and there was a lot of course, there were some that had optimism, but the skepticism actually outshined the optimism leading into the preseason games, because Chelsea fans, like we expected, we kind of expected the team to be different, to be boosted with quality signings, which has not happened for now, and currently, judging by the performance in the last 2 preseason games, the team has been fantastic. Ian Mertz has taken his chances. We've seen the evolution of Cesare Caicedo in the 2 games. And De Santos has been fantastic in the base of the midfield, controlling the midfield, always making himself available for the next pass, starting attacks, breaking up the opposition plays, and you could see the progression in his play is continuing to improve. Kanu Chukwuemeka has gotten chance. He has been able to get minutes, a lot of minutes. Started both games, and you could see like the progression. You could see the blueprint that Mauricio Pochettino is trying to create in the team. Chelsea, the last 2 preseason games, they've played a 4-2-3-1 formation. The first game, Christopher Nkunku was on the bench. Nicholas Jackson started the game. The second game, Nicholas Jackson started. Nicholas Jackson has been a revelation so far in 2 preseason games. 3 assists, 1 goal. He has held up the play very well. Created a lot of chances. Brought his teammates into play. Played so well with his back to goal. He's very adept with his touches. Very, very tricky. As a player that is fast-footed, and so far so good. He has shown that it might actually be the solution to the forward number 9 position on Chelsea. Also, Christopher Nkunku has also been playing fantastically well in the preseason. He has 2 goals in 2 games. Let's say like 2 goals in 90 minutes, because the first game he played 45 minutes, second game also 45 minutes. So 2 goals in 90 minutes of football for Chelsea. You can see like he's still trying to get accustomed to the playing style. He's still trying to build connections with his teammates. But you could see what quality player he is. But the biggest revelation, or the biggest surprise, or the biggest shock for every Chelsea fan this season has to be that of Angelo Gabriel. The signing from Santos, the young 18-year-old from Santos. There was a player that there was a lot of uproar when Chelsea signed, because Chelsea fans wanted proven signings, not youngsters, and he's one of those players that has actually grabbed the opportunity around the scruff of the neck. It's been fantastic. The 2 games he has played, his decision making, his ability to dribble, his final passes has been fantastic. His first game he had an assist for Ben Chilwell's goal, the 5th goal against Wrexham. He gave an assist. He has been fantastic. He has been a revelation. That is why I think I was part of the people that were not criticizing the board when they were signing youngsters, because those youngsters has high potential, and they could go on to become world class players. And with the signing of Angel Gabriel, we've seen the blueprint, or we've seen what the team is trying to do, what the board are trying to do by signing those young players. Because Angel Gabriel plays way more matured than his age. His passing, his control, his dribble ability. I think out of is in the top five in terms of dribble attempted and dribble completed of under 25 players in all of football this season, in top football leagues this season. So that shows he has a lot of experience. Been playing in the Brazilian league for 2 seasons as a bona fide member of the Santos team. So it's not like he is a young player, but he's a player with bags of experience. And there has been rumors or reports saying that he could go on loan to Strasbourg. I think he is a player that is ready to play for Chelsea. He is a player that is ready. He has proven in these 2 games that he's a player that is ready for first team for Chelsea, for first team football at a club like Chelsea. And I don't think it makes sense for us to loan him, because I think he has proven that he's good enough. And once he's good enough, why can't he just get his opportunity? I think Diego Moreira is going on loan. I think in his play you could see that he still has much more to learn. I think he's the most likely to go out on loan for now. There's been reports that Chelsea rejected a bid from West Ham from Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher has actually been so good in 2 games. He had a goal. I think he had 2 goals. Yeah, he has scored 2 goals in the 2 games. Chelsea rejected a bid from from West Ham United, £40 million. But West Ham United are still expected to actually come in with another bid, which I expect Chelsea to accept, because a bid over £40 million for Conor Gallagher. Of course, we know he's an English international and he has a lot of experience, and he's a player that has a high ceiling. But regardless, £40 million in this current transfer market, over £40 million for Conor Gallagher, I think is a fair price for a player that's not going to be a guaranteed starter for Chelsea, and is more likely to spend more. Is going to get game time, but is more likely to be on the bench if Chelsea finally gets their midfield recruitment. Then moving on from the preseason games, it's been fantastic. Like I said, the first game Chelsea won 5-0 against Wrexham. The second game they won 4-3 against Brighton. It was fantastic. It was great to see Levi Cole play for Chelsea. Had a lot of passes, defended well. Of course, it was a fault for the Brighton second goal causing the penalty. But all in all, it was a good performance, and it's a performance that the team can build upon. Of course, it's a performance. It's not always nice when you concede 3 goals. Like Mauricio Pochettino has said, the hard work continues. They are not yet the finished articles, but so far so good. We'll take positive results and good performances over not conceding goals. And in no time, of course, I know the defense will be solid. I also have to give shout out to Malo Gusto. He has been fantastic in both games. Especially the first game against Wrexham, he showed his attacking quality. The second game against Brighton was able to hold down a tricky one of the elite wingers in the Premier League, Kaoru Mitoma. He was in his pocket throughout the game. He showed that he's also good, is as good going forward as well as defending. It shows that Chelsea has actually secured the right back position with the sign of Malo Gusto. So you have Rhys James, you have Malo. So right now, it gives Rhys James the necessary or the competition, high level competition that he desires, and also like provides Chelsea with a more than capable backup if anything occurs to Rhys James, or let me say a worthy competition for Rhys James for the right back position. Like I said, moving on from the preseason games, I want to talk about the latest rumors for Chelsea. Of course, there's still negotiations going on between Chelsea and Brighton for Moises Caicedo. Brighton are slowly but surely becoming frustrating. It's so funny because I don't know, because of the money in the Premier League right now, the small teams, or the so-called smaller teams, can't be bullied again into selling their players by the big team. Gone are the days in the Premier League where big teams will just come in and then poach the best players from the young team and then from the so-called smaller teams and put them into their team. But I think that time has gone. That has changed. There's a lot of money going around the Premier League. Every club is capable of spending 60, 70 million on a player. So I feel Brighton is proving that right now. They did the same last season. Okay, given the fact that Todd Boehly just came in, new board, they did not understand the market, and they were still trying to understand the business and the game of football. They were fleeced by Brighton. Of course, we could say that they were fleeced because Chelsea they tricked Chelsea into paying even way above the release clause from Marco Corella, and also loaning them Levi Colwill in the process. And we could say that we could clearly say that Marco Corella has not lived up to the expectation. Hopefully, it changes that narrative this season, and he plays to the level that everybody expects him to, or everybody believes that he can. Um, Brighton has been astute. They have been so difficult to negotiate with in this transfer window. Um, with Chelsea, especially with Chelsea, because of their interest in Levi Colwill, they've turned it into a frustrating and annoying game, annoying tactic. Um, they are saying is £100 million or nothing for Moises Caicedo. If Chelsea can't get £100 million, then they are not selling. It is a saga that is dragging on. It's a saga that, honestly, I'm saying it 100%. I expect Chelsea to sign Moises Caicedo in this transfer window. I don't think it might drag on even until the deadline day, but I'm 100% certain that Moises Caicedo plays for Chelsea Football Club this season. I think Chelsea will eventually have to fork out the money. They will have to eventually have to pay up the £100 million to get him. Might not be straight in cash. It might be £80 million upfront and £20 million in add-ons. But I think Chelsea would eventually get to the 100 million mark or the 90 million mark. I think that should do it. It's a deal that is dragging on, and I know Mauricio Pochettino has said he needs experience and quality players to balance the squad, and he needs those players ASAP. So I expect Chelsea to back their manager, especially when if the sale of Conor Gallagher goes through as expected, because West Ham is expected to come in with another bid. So I expect Chelsea to have more money in the bank to spend and go and get their man. And also, there has been reports that Chelsea has agreed personal terms with Michael Olise, and they've also agreed personal terms with Mohamed Kudus of Ajax. Um, and there's also a report they are still interested in Ryan Cherky. I don't expect them to get all three players. I think at most they get two out of those three players. I think right now with the way the team is, I think they can only get one out of those three players. But if Conor Gallagher is sold, and I still expect them to loan a couple of players. Maybe, like report has been saying, Angelo Gabriel, but I don't want them to loan him. But if they loan him, I know they are going to loan Diego Moreira for sure. So I think that opens up two more spots in the team. So I think Kudus is a fantastic signing if we could get him. He's a player that's versatile. Could play as an 8, as a 9, as a false 9, as a 10, as a 7, as an 11. He's a player that had 25 goals and assists last season in 42 games. So he's a player that's ruthless. He's a player that creates goals, that scores goals. Has experience, played in the Champions League, scored in the biggest games for Ajax. He was literally Ajax's best player last season. So, of course, if he's a player that is press resistance, I think it fits the Pochettino style to the team in terms of his ability to press, in terms of his ability to go forward and create chances. So he's a player that I expect Chelsea I expect if Chelsea should sign, he's a player that is going to improve the team immensely and quickly. I don't think he's a player that will need a lot of time to adapt to the playing style, because his style of play is kind of similar to what this kind of player Ajax, in terms of their pressing ability and in terms of being press resistance. Is the kind of style that Mauricio Pochettino is trying to implement at Chelsea, and that's the same style of football that Mohamed Kudus has been playing at Ajax. Then moving on from Mohamed Kudus, the Michael Olise news came out of the bloom, but it is a fantastic signing if we can get it done. This is one of the best young right wingers in the world. This is one of the best young creative players in the world. It's a 21-year-old, but bags of experience, Premier League proven. He's played in the Premier League at the highest level for 2 seasons, for 2 seasons in a row. He's been delivering quality goals, quality assists, quality performances in big games. He has become one of the cornerstones of the Crystal Palace team. Of course, he's currently injured, which could hamper the deal, but it's still a deal that I expect it to go through, given he has a 35 million pounds release clause. So it's still early stages regarding the deal, but as soon as any information or any update link regarding that deal drops, I will be making a video to discuss in depthly about the impact Michael Olise and Mohamed Kudus could have in the Chelsea squad, and how it could raise Chelsea from potentially being an outsider in the top four to being a shot in to finish in the top four position. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos on the latest happenings in the world of football. Please subscribe to MDB Sport.